Okay. Apologize about the technical difficulties for my live. So I'm just gonna go ahead and record this and run through it, and still get you this information so you can just watch it on the post. I just tried a lot. My phone was overheating, and I was going through it, and I thought it cooled down, etc., etc. So anyway, we still gonna get this information out there to you. So basically, what I was talking about today is insurance that I have to get for a new contract, and it's called CTL coverage, constructive total loss. Meaning, I'm gonna read what I wrote down here from the insurance policy. Means a new auto that is damaged while being transported can only be repaired to a safe driving condition. So basically, what they're saying is, you know, it's a brand new car, so if it get damaged, then there's no way that it can be a new car anymore. So it diminishes the value, and that's what's speaking of diminishing the value. That's the second part of it. But so basically, that's CTL coverage, and they also want you to have diminished value, right? So an example they gave is diminished value is the actual or perceived loss in market value or resale value that results from a direct or accidental loss to an auto being transported. So basically, for example, if you got a $40,000 car, you do $5,000 worth of damage to it, it gets fixed, but the dealer, because it was a brand new car, the dealer can only sell it because it's not a brand new car anymore. The dealer can only sell it for $30,000 now. So that $10,000 margin is what the insurance will cover, and that's diminished value. Okay, so again, you know, just to reiterate it, you need CTL coverage. Basically, if you damage a roof to a Nissan or something like that, which I've done in my early days. I had, coming out of Jacksonville Port, I had 10 of them on a truck. I had the 3 at the top, boom, 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 domino with the trunks up in the air. So I got to South Carolina to the dealership, missed it, had to go turn around. And when I went to go turn around, I ran down, the GPS took me down the street where there was some tree branches, low tree branches, and they were kind of thick. So I was like, boom, 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 hit 3 of them, damaged 3 roofs. It wasn't that bad, it was just enough where it was right there on it. But any roof damage to a new car is a wrap. If it would have been something else, somewhere else, that minor down on the bottom, then I probably would have, it probably would have been a lot cheaper. But with that being said, it was $10,000 worth of damage, and I had to pay the guy who I was leased on with, because I was actually buying the truck from him, and I stayed on his company until I was finished paying for the truck. So I had to pay the deductible, which was only $1,000. That was a long time ago, and a lot of things have changed because of guys like myself, or other guys that hit tree branches overhead, under bridges, etc., etc. Now they require you to have this coverage with a lot of these big carriers to haul their equipment. Their cars. So I'm working on that now. We're gonna finish the deal up tomorrow. Didn't change too much on my policy. Progressive does not cover this type of insurance, so I had to actually drop my cargo. I'm gonna do it tomorrow and drop my cargo with Progressive and go with the new carrier, just on the cargo. And I'll have my liability and auto liability and stuff, but still with Progressive until my term is up. And then I'll probably just, depending on who gives me the better rate, then that'll determine what I do from that point. Also, they have striking of a load, and that's basically what I was just saying, hitting underpass. You're driving under there. Car hauls, we always run over height. Even though I'm doing hot shot now, I still get pretty high up there with them vans. I'll be at 13.8. Some of the pickup trucks, I got back up there. And now, with the 5 car, you got the lift on there. You can get over height, but not so much where you really got to worry about it because you're mainly on the highway, and most of those are 15 feet, tall, at least. And because I've run 14.5 all the way from California back to Texas, so you just gotta know where you're going. But with that being said, and the last one that they require on the policy was theft of unattended vehicles. So basically, it's a big problem with car hauling when we get to these dealerships. We got the keys in the cars that we transport because you picking up at the auction, you going straight there. You're not gonna put the keys in your pocket or bring them in the truck. You lose them, that's another headache. So we just leave them in the car, leave the windows cracked, and just ride and get there. But now you got the thieves that's actually, when we taking them off the truck, when we leaving them parked there by the truck and driving them in one at a time, we go drive one in, somebody hopping in, one and taking off. So that theft of unintended vehicle will cover you for that. Well, it's some red tape with that though. Like you just can't, you can't actually have the keys in there, else they won't cover you. So, but if somebody jumped in a car and hot wired it and took it, but that's just a big problem in itself. This got to the point where they'll drive the cars off of your truck, and take off with them. Because what we would do, we would just start leaving the cars on the truck, take them off one at a time and bring them in. But now they will actually drive them off the truck. So, when I get in certain situations where I know the theft is high at, I'll leave a strap on them. I'll leave the keys in there, I'll take my chances, but I'll leave a strap on the wheel. And that way they can't just jump in there and take off. They gotta unhook that car before they can do it. And most of the time I'm just bringing the car in there and I'm coming right back. So that way, that won't happen. And that's pretty much it for what I wanted to cover on the insurance. And another thing in the insurance part is always keep records of all your insurance policies, numbers, old policies with companies, because I really had to prove who I was to get this policy. So it's like I had to dig back into the crates into my old company and get, I had to call Progressive and get a loss runs for the new company and the old company just to prove that I didn't have any accidents and that I've been hauling cars for the last 9-10 years. That I've been in trucking for 16 years. They wanted my license abstract. So I had to go to DMV and get that. So, it's a lot of little things that they're gonna ask for, and they want that history to prove what your credentials are. And for you new guys out there, this is definitely gonna be one of the biggest hurdles for you to get by, because they're really cracking down on this insurance. I think it's a lot of politics involved in it. So I just got a little message right there. It was on. I'm filming the video now because I kept going live and it got chopped twice. So I'm just going to record it and then put it up there. So that's far as that's done. Now financing, I was supposed to be getting a third trailer. Two of them were identical. Got the first one, no money down, signature, everything, same company. The second trailer had to get built. They built it. It's there. It's ready for pickup. I'm doing the financing. First, let me back up a week before that. They called and said it's going to be $2,000 more. That was a hard pill to swallow because of the pandemic, resources, etc., etc. All right, no problem. It is what it is. So I get that done. Now, the new trailer, they want a down payment, and the payment is going to be $300 more than what the first trailer is. And they're the same identical trailers, same finance company, and I'm the same person. So it's just like, I gotta work on that tomorrow too, because I'm not doing that. I can't pay $300 for more for the same trailer, and my credit worthiness is still the same, as it was 2 months ago. So I'm not paying that. So with financing, man, you just gotta, and again, even with finance, the new underwriter that they're using, they wanted to know my history. They wanted to know how long you've been in trucking, how long you had this company, how long you had your CDLs, how long you've been hauling cars. They want to know all these things just to get me financed. So it's a lot different from previous equipment and stuff like that. And that's why I say everything changes over time, and they get stricter and stricter. So you gotta keep up with the information, and just stay in the know about the insurance and financing. And with financing, it's like credit. You definitely got to have the credit right. And just because you have good credit doesn't mean you're going to get the equipment. That's the reality of it. A lot of people think otherwise. Like, I got good credit, I can get whatever I want. No, you got to have the credit plus the experience when it comes to trucking and getting these commercial loans. They're getting a lot stricter nowadays. So you got to keep that in mind, and that's the part of financing that I wanted to just kind of put out there. Because other than that, is everything else is kind of, years in business, your bank statements, your credit score. If you have business credit, your DUNS, Experian commercial, your payback score, those kind of things like that. You got all of those things good. It's still not it's never a guarantee dealing with these finance companies, especially now in the middle of a pandemic and everything is uncertain. So you gotta just you gotta keep rolling with the punches. Just get it. So y'all stay tuned and see. We're gonna see what happens tomorrow, and see if because I put a $3,000 deposit down on the trailer. So the guy said he would give it back if the financing didn't work with his guy. So we're trying to run it through his guy and see what numbers he come back with. If he come back with something close to what the first one is, maybe $50 difference, even $100 difference, but $300 difference and a down payment for the same trailer, and I didn't have to do that the first time. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed on this one, but I ain't even tripping because he said he'd give me the 3,000 back, and I'm really kind of leaning that way. Like, I hope it don't go right, so I just get my deposit back, and I'll just go buy a cheaper trailer cash, used, or buy a used trailer, which are hard to find right now. But I'd rather just do that and for Miss Money, put a trailer on her, and that way that whole unit is paid for. I don't have no payments or anything. So that's kind of what I'm going to do with that. And just know that when good credit score is the first step into financing. I do fixed credit. So you can DM me about that if you have credit issues. But it's not a guarantee. You need a lot more than that. And I know just about everything you need, and you gotta. It's always gonna be something different. You gotta roll with the punches, and jump on it. So it's rough. It's rough. And like I said on this channel, man, I always want to keep everything transparent, so people don't jump into things, with expectations and get fooled. You'll see a lot of that on IG. These guys tell you all the good stuff, but they don't ever tell you the bad stuff. And people use their last bit of money to get into the industry and get fooled sometimes. A lot of this stuff is real, but the probability of it is what they don't tell you, the success rate. So with that being said, man, we're going to go ahead and get this posted so y'all can get this information, because the live was just, it was off today, man. I went outside, it was warm, and I just really wanted to be out in the weather, different scenery, and the phone kept overheating, so, but I'm definitely going to get this information out to you, and appreciate it, right? So we're going to sign off.